Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, and that's right, you read the title. This is my farewell video and tribute to the original Country Bear Jamboree, because, yep, as of this video's upload, the original Country Bear Jamboree is closing its doors at Walt Disney World, Orlando, Florida, in the Magic Kingdom. Yeah, it's a shame. First off, let me just say that it is a shame. I am saddened to see that the original Country Bear Jamboree will be closing its doors, and, all the bears will be singing, their last songs, and, yeah. And until, later this year, around the summertime, the Country Bear Show will be getting an update, and our beloved Disney bears will be singing new songs. Yeah, so, yeah, and this is just like how I did that, farewell/tribute video to Splash Mountain at Disney World and Disneyland, even though, because Disneyland Splash Mountain had not closed until, a couple of months later, after Disney World Splash Mountain would close. So, so like what I did in my farewell video tribute to Splash Mountain, because I gave, I talked about some history about Splash Mountain, so the same goes for Country Bear Jamboree. And if you know your Disney history, and for any of you like me, who are huge Disney enthusiasts, going back to when the Country Bear Jamboree first started, it was planned for a ski resort at the Mineral King, California. Which never came to be, especially when Walt Disney passed away, and, further plans for this to happen did not go through. And Walt himself, got to see the progress and development on the Bear Show, and there's that infamous story that was told by both the late Mark Davis and Alice Davis, where the last time Walt would visit the studio, he came to visit Mark, and he asked Mark how the Bear Project was going, and Mark Davis showed Walt some concept and sketches that he did designing the bear characters, and Walt looking at each of the bear drawings, and yeah, he got a good laugh looking at those bear drawings, and, and still, according from Mark Davis and Alice Davis, they felt that that was the last laugh Walt had. And, Walt having to leave the studio, and he walked down the hall, he turned around and he said goodbye, Mark, and Mark knew that that would be the last time he would see Walt. And again, with Walt's, unexpected and sad passing, and what would come next for Disney altogether, for the parks, the feature films, and, seeing as how for the feature films, next year, The Jungle Book would happen, and the live-action film, The Happiest Millionaire, would be released as well. The last two film projects that Walt was personally involved in. He was heavily involved in those two feature films, and you know what? Both of them turned out to be really good and two memorable Disney films, and, especially The Jungle Book. So, and for the Disney parks, well, obviously, the biggest thing for the Disney parks, well, was the Florida project. Walt Disney World making its way to Orlando, Florida, and with the Florida project, the Country Bear Jamboree would be added to the Florida project and with Disney World, thanks to Walt's older brother, Roy, because, Roy knew that the Country Bear Jamboree still, needed to exist, and, what better way, and because the ski resort did not happen, but to place that bear show in the Magic Kingdom at Frontierland, and ever since then, It's become, a huge prime staple of the Disney parks and becoming a beloved and classic Disney attraction gem. Yeah, alongside with others like Pirates of the Caribbean, The Haunted Mansion, The Enchanted Tiki Room, The Jungle Cruise, It's a Small World. Need I go on? And, for many years, because Country Bear Jamboree at Disney World, it went through some changes, like, the original show was still the same, but they would sometimes receive new additions, like, for a while, because Country Bear had 2 different shows, and even, like, say, when later on at Disneyland, I think, in the early 1970s, the Country Bear Jamboree would make its way to Disneyland, and for a while, because they were in this location called Bear Country, and I'm sure, some of you would now know it to be called Critter Country, but back then, it used to be called Bear Country, before lots of other attractions and, what was in that location would become and be called Critter Country. And so the 2 shows that the Country Bear Jamboree received, both at Disneyland and Disney World, was the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown, and it got its own Christmas show. And over at Disneyland, the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown would remain in the Country Bear Jamboree show, but whenever the holidays would come around, it would of course change to the Christmas show. The same goes for Disney World's Country Bear Jamboree. But at a certain point in the early 2000s, like early and mid 2000s, I think it was probably around maybe 2005 or 6. I want to say 2005. There was no more Country Bear Jamboree Christmas. The Christmas show of the Country Bears was no more, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, come on, because why can't it come back? I mean, we now have Jingle Cruise, so I don't know. But there is some good reasons why they stopped doing it. Probably because of costing, or probably another good reason would have to be because Disney World is a one-time, traveling expedition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Destination. That's what I mean. Destination. A one-time destination. Because everybody from around the world coming to Disney World, you know what I mean. And, that's why we don't have the holiday overlay for the Haunted Mansion at Disney World, which is really a shame because it really feels like that, the Haunted Mansion holiday overlay would be perfect in Disney World. Don't you think? God. And talk about what Disney does during Halloween and Christmas. I'm just saying. And for Country Bear Jamboree, because, it's a shame that they no longer, do the Christmas show, but, it just, that's just how it was when they stopped doing it. But it did continue at Disneyland up until on September 9th, 2001, when the Country Bear Show at Disneyland closed its doors and the Bears sang their last songs. Yeah, a pretty sad day, because, I could tell because everybody really enjoyed the Country Bear Jamboree at Disneyland. No hard feelings to Disney Worlds, but I'm just saying, like, for a lot of people who live in California and who go to Disneyland, to no longer have a Country Bear show, that's a bummer. And what would come next? I think 2 years later, after it would close. Well, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And come on, like, the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is not that bad, and it does pay tribute to the Country Bear Jamboree. Like, if you've been to the Winnie the Pooh ride at Disneyland, you would notice that when you'd make your way out of the Heffalumps and Woozles sequence, room that is, if you turn around, you would see Max, Bub, and Melvin. Yeah, and not to mention, because before the Winnie the Pooh ride became a thing at Disneyland, there were considerations for there to be a ride with the Country Bear Jamboree Bears, but that didn't come to be. Like, I've seen the sketches and designs, and if you've seen those too, Yeah, but, it's a shame, but still, the Winnie the Pooh ride at Disneyland is good, and not bad. And no hard feelings to the bears and who they used to reside at Disneyland. But let's face it, Disney World is where they first started, and that being their full-time home. Yeah. And at a certain point in the early 2010s, they received an update. The show was still the same, although they had to remove 2 songs and take out a couple of lyrics. And the Bears themselves got a fresh new makeover, and a pretty good one. I mean, yeah, for me, my experience seeing the Country Bear Jamboree, of course, I did see its original show when it had all the songs, like, 2 songs that Wendell and Henry sing, and 1 song that the 5 Bear Rugs, they sang, and Zeke singing it, her name was Devilish Mary. I remember that very well. And seeing how the animatronic bears used to look until they got their makeover. And I don't know, because I think there probably have been some people that have complained about the show's running time and with some stuff being cut. Again, from 2 songs, a couple of lyrics, and, lines, and so on. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it was that bad. And you know what? I can't forget to mention this. Besides, this is Country Bear Jamboree. The Country Bears movie. Yeah, I remember seeing that. And I've come to enjoy it. And of course, I've reviewed the movie, if you want to go check it out. And I think there have been some people that have liked the Country Bears movie. Not to mention, because for that to have come out a year after the Country Bear show at Disneyland, closing, golly, talk about, like, an eerie thing, like, if you get what I'm saying. And yeah, I gotta admit, because the Country Bears movie, it tried, and it was nice to see that in the movie, the bears were actually on screen. They were practical, and that's because it was thanks to the good old Jim Henson Company. Yeah, because they did the animatronic bears costumes, and they did a heck of a good job. It's the Jim Henson Company we're talking about. Yeah. Okay, so with the Country Bears movie out of the way, and I don't know, because to quote something from Christopher Walken, this ain't over, bears! And no, because it's not over for the bears. Because as of now, and, when D23 happened in Orlando, in that one location, in like the Bay Lake and Contemporary area, D23, Destination D23, you know what I'm talking about. They made the announcement that the Country Bear Jamboree show would receive an update with new songs, and the bears would get a new, set of wardrobes, and one bear would have his name be changed. That being Liver Lips McGraw. Instead of Liver Lips, he's now going to be called Romeo McGraw. I don't know. When I first heard about that, I was like, why? Why do they... What? Because Liver Lips is now offensive? It doesn't... How does that name... How's it offensive? You tell me. I don't know. I mean, Romeo McGraw kind of sounds okay, fitting, because Romeo with McGraw, so and some of the songs that they're going to have in this new version of the Country Bear show, well, from what I've heard, they're going to incorporate a couple of Disney songs, like, most notably, and this was shown in a behind the scenes, they're going to include Bare Necessities, but they did state that there's going to be 2 songs from the original show left in this new Country Bear show. And we don't know what these 2 songs, like, these 2 songs that are going to remain, we don't know what they are. I mean, is Blood on the Saddle going to remain? Is that one song sung by Buddy, Bubbles, and Beulah going to remain? We don't know. We don't know at this time, but we will, of course. I even heard, with this new updated show of the Country Bear Jamboree, it was considered for Tokyo Disneyland's version of the Country Bear Jamboree, but that never came to be. And there was even a photo released of Henry, and obviously it's the animatronic of Henry from the Tokyo version of Country Bear Jamboree, and we got our first taste and first look at what this new wardrobe is going to look like on these bear characters. And speaking of Henry, I really hope, for when it comes to the voices of the bear characters, most of them, unfortunately, have, sadly passed away. Like, most notably, Thurl Ravenscroft, who was the voice of Buff, the Buffalo Head. The three funny headed characters mounted on the wall, Max, Bub, and Melvin. Yeah, like Thurl Ravenscroft, of course, passed away, and a couple of others who did reprise their roles when the Country Bear Jamboree, received those two shows, Vacation Hoedown and the Christmas one. And like I said, Vacation Hoedown was at Disney World for a while until it went back to, the original show. I really hope that, most notably, Peter Renaday, the voice of Henry and Max, the Deerhead, I hope he comes back to reprise those two characters. He better. Disney better bring him back for that. He's still active. He's still doing voice acting, so they better bring him back. Not to mention, because there were at times where Peter Renaday would be present at some of the D23 expos, most notably for the Voices of the Parks panel. So, please, Disney, please bring Peter Renaday back. It won't be the same. Bring him back. And I'm sure a lot of you, I can't be the only one, obviously. I'm sure as though, and for some of you, want to see Peter Renaday come back to voice those two characters, because it won't be the same. It won't be the same without his voice. Aside from those who most of them had passed away, we gotta have Peter Renaday back for this. We just got to. It won't be the same. But for me, what I have to, say about the updated show of the Country Bear Jamboree, my final results and so on, well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll see what, we'll all have to wait and see what this new updated version of the Country Bear Jamboree has to offer. It sounds like it may be good, but we'll just have to wait and see. And, no doubt about it that there's going to be some people, especially the Country Bear Jamboree fans, that are probably going to bash it, because, we love the original. We don't like changes, okay, I don't think very many people complained when, in Pirates of the Caribbean, they included Jack Sparrow Barbossa. I know that a lot of people, pretty much everybody, complained what they did to the Enchanted Tiki Room, if you know what I'm talking about. The Jungle Cruise, yeah, there's been some people that have complained, including me, yeah. And for, say, the Haunted Mansion, nothing really. I don't think... I think there may have been a few people that have complained when the Haunted Mansion got some updates and stuff like that, but nothing too bad. Not a lot of people, from what I can tell. And for the Country Bears, yeah, because obviously a lot of people complained when the show was cut down, and now that we're getting an update for the Country Bear Show at Grizzly Hall. Yeah, the name of the theater, Grizzly Hall. But overall, I hope that this new updated version of the Country Bear Jamboree will be good, and it would have to pay tribute to the original. And again, let's hope that let's hope that Peter Renaday comes back and they get some pretty good voices for these bear characters, they can try their best. I know that a lot of voice actors try their best to do impressions and sound exactly, to the characters who they voiced, who were previously voiced by someone else. Those who took on some of the Looney Tunes roles from Mel Blanc, the Muppets, you know what I mean, yeah. But overall, the new updated Country Bear Jamboree show, which I forgot the name of it, but there will be a text, of its name. We'll all have to wait and see what it has to offer. So what about you guys? I'm sure that a lot of you, you are sad that the original is coming to an end, and are you at least looking forward to what the new updated Country Bear Jamboree show has to offer? All that I have said in this video where I give my farewell and tribute to the original Country Bear Jamboree show. Yeah, and what did you think of this video? Leave comments and give this video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me giving my tribute and farewell to the original Country Bear Jamboree show. And yeah, thank you for the memories to the original Country Bear Jamboree show. Thank you for the memories. And that's all I've got to say. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and until the new Country Bear Jamboree show will be on its way in the summertime, peace out. Y'all come back, you hear?